I want to ask you a question. You were hearing Norman Floyd Barnes on his remark regarding Greenland. We understand that Greenland is an island full of natural resources, minerals, which are quite important, quite required by the United States of America. I have to say it this way, because in the recent times we have seen how they are turning into the modern pirates of this new world order. The question I want to ask you, Greenland says that it shall not be accepting any U.S. takeover under any circumstances, because that would be breaking the NATO framework that they share with Denmark. The Kingdom of Denmark affirmed its status, saying that Greenland, they are going to be administering Greenland to their regard. I want to ask you the question, what is your take? You see, last year we were doing a commentary, we were doing this program, and we did not realize that the notion was towards US and Greenland, US and Venezuela, even though there was some news agencies reporting about this fact. So I want to understand this sudden shift towards Greenland and the Western Hemisphere. The entire world is now referring to US President Donald Trump and his activities as a method of uniting the Western Hemisphere across the continent with China and Russia. So I want to understand how you felt about Greenland.
Okay, thank you for the question. So there is a saying that Donald Trump, especially not the United States government, Donald Trump is he is predictably unpredictable.
Right.
Why last year when we were having this conversation, why didn't we focus on Greenland, Venezuela, or other things? Because it was how they portrayed that where their focus are. It was on tax impositions on China, it was on Iran, it was on the Middle East, etc., etc. But why now Greenland, why now Venezuela? Because for the Trump administration, it's high time to strengthen their security forces. And where is Greenland and Venezuela, both of the countries concern mainly the security measures of America. Why? Let me explain. First of all, Venezuela, let's come to Venezuela, that is, it's a neighboring country. Then why Trump administration is eyeing on its neighbor? Why it's actually targeting its neighbor? If you look at Venezuela is the #1 country in the world that produces heavy crude oil.
Correct.
However, the first customer or the first buyer of this crude oil, who is the buyer? It's China, it's Russia. And as Venezuela exports most of its oil to China and Russia, so United States is not able to make this benefit to have this heavy crude oil as their resource, and that's why they have to go to Canada, and they are spending more. It's costly to actually have oil from Canada rather than Venezuela, but they are unable to extract the resources as there is a influence of China and Russia in the American hemisphere. See, China has invested $18 billion in this crude oil, and Russia as well. And not in just this crude oil, they are actually expanding their political sphere, their economical sphere to the American sphere. That's why the Trump administration felt the necessity to actually have this propaganda against Venezuela, because to warn them, to control them, and to secure themselves. Because if it was seeming that it was slipping out of their hand, if their own neighboring country is slipping out of their hand, then who is there that can the Trump administration gets support from? This is the one concern. Another concern, again in terms of Venezuela, is the de-dollarization.
Right.
Why they are actually, yes, it is okay that China and Russia is buying, but what is the main point of this whole oil issue? It is the de-dollarization. If you look at the export rate of Venezuela, that it's exporting in Chinese yuan and Russian ruble, its oil. So it's actually de-dollarizing.
Right.
The value of the dollar is actually it was on the declining state in the American hemisphere. So if there is de-dollarization, then who will actually overpower this world economy? It might turn out to be the yuan, or it might turn out to be the ruble, but the American government cannot afford this de-dollarization. So it's not just all about the oil concern, it's also about this de-dollarization. It's about the power exercise in the entire world.
Right.
See, through this abduction of Maduro, through this claim that we need Greenland, through this aggressive remarks on Iran, what is the point of view of Americans administration?
That is a very beautiful question, and I want to ask this very question to Norman Floyd Barnes. We understand that